All she was a spoiled brat. I wanted to punch her in the face, which I would never do to a real live woman.
It's on film. You're okay.
Oh, we're back.
Pierre, you make me rien.
Hello.
Where's the Minky?
Yes, we're back. So this week is me. And I did The Extraordinary Adventures of Adèle Blanc-Sec. This movie was made in 2010. And, okay, this is a quirky little movie. It's directed by Luc Besson. It's adapted from a Franco-Belgian comic series. The authoress, Adèle Blanc-Sec, travels on an expedition to Egypt in order to revive an ancient mummy. The mummy is the physician was a physician to the pharaoh. She believes he can cure her brain-damaged twin sister. She hopes to be able to take the mummified doctor back to Paris, where an oddball professor, Professor Esperanto.
Well, that's easy for you to say.
Will use his unusual powers.
Esperando Vale. It's the band.
Powers to revive him. And the mummified physician could then cure her sister. The film is set in 1912, and it's quite fantastical and magical. Adèle Blanc-Sec is quite a character, played by Louise Bourgon. Meanwhile, Professor Esperanto is causing mayhem in Paris because he's a scientist, so he needs to experiment. He's experimenting, so he steals a dinosaur egg from the museum. And
A
now
pterodactyl egg.
Yes, and now the pterodactyl is flying around Paris, causing mayhem. The movie is very funny and fantastical. I thought it was almost like a young adult, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. I thought it kind of meant like the Lost Raiders of the, right? Lost Raiders of the Ark? Is that what it's
Raiders
called?
of the Lost Ark.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I'm dyslexic. The Raiders of the Lost Ark meets Terry Gilliam. I thought it was
That's
kind
a good way of putting it.
was
That's a
kind
really
of
good
like
description.
that. I think children, young adults, and those that are young at heart will enjoy this movie. So, Patty.
Well, Debbie Downer coming back to
Yay,
life
Debbie.
here.
Debbie Bach.
This movie is the kind of comedy I just don't like how it's done. I don't like it in America. I don't like it in Poland. I don't like it in France.
You were in Poland. When was that?
And I didn't like it after the first 5 minutes. I was going, keep going. It's just the kind of humor I don't like. And I like humor. But it's kind of slapsticky, which I don't like from anybody. So the woman who plays the main character, I didn't think she was good at it, at what she was doing. You have no affinity to be drawn to her. And I found it super hard to watch. But that's me.
And me.
Oh, that's it?
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Short and sweet.
Well, I actually liked the movie. I thought it was fun for what it was. And I think you're right. It is a comic book movie. And that's how I watched it. Because at first I thought, I'll take it more seriously, like a Raiders kind of thing, right? Because she's obviously a archaeologist, and scientist, etc., who's trying to do something. The plot in itself is an odd plot, I thought, especially with the sister. At first, I didn't quite understand because I thought, well, how are they going to bring back the mummy to life? So that's when I didn't understand everything with the pterodactyl at the beginning. But once I got that, it's like, oh, okay, this is sort of nice. it's the production design that I think people will be put off by because they really stuck, in my opinion, to the comic book look.
Yeah,
The
that's true.
caricatures are really over characterized. If you've ever seen a Tintin comic book, they look like those people. They make them round. They have these elaborate mustaches, or they make them look old and wrinkled. So it's not very real. But see, that was fine for me because, like any Luc Besson movie, he obviously likes comic books. You can tell he likes the surreal kind of quality.
Well, I think he did The
Yeah.
Fifth Element.
See,
Yeah.
and he
I love
did.
The Fifth Element.
And that's what I'm saying. I that's one of my all-time favorite movies
Great
of
movie.
his is Fifth Element. Because again, it has to do with the look and the style and everything. And this movie, in my opinion, almost has the exact same kind of tone and everything. It's just the storyline that people I don't think might like. I happen to think it's fine, especially the fact that they have to revive a mummy doctor because he was a genius. And as it turns out, yes, he is. But in fact, that was actually the more humorous part, actually, is once they get to the mummy and everything, it's like, okay, what's really going to happen? But, it doesn't grab you, though. There's no real sense of adventure, in my opinion. It's more to see her driven because of wanting to save her sister. There is this neat little story, in my opinion, with this little assistant guy who I don't know exactly he's a professor. That's all I sort of know, right? If I'm not mistaken, yeah, that was Philippe Nahon. I thought his character was sort of fun because he's sort of befuddled because he's the one who knows something's going on, keeps going to people, and they keep ignoring him until finally, in fact, the whole movie would have been like half the length, with the exception of that they finally figure out, he's sort of like the key that connects everything together. So, stuff like that I think's fun, but I wasn't overly excited by this movie. I can't even cite like outstanding performances or anything. I just thought that like you said, that Professor Esperandieu was a bizarre character, both in the portrayal by the actor and what you see on screen. And again, that sort of added to the surreal quality to it. Because, like I said, he was something.
Surreal is a good word.
Oh, I always surreal and animated to me
Yeah.
go together. So,
Yeah.
and that's how this is a highly animated kind of film. So, if you like that kind of stuff, I would recommend it. But if not, like you said, you can obviously put people off completely.
Yeah, for me, at first I was watching and I was like, huh? But then I thought, okay, I have to see this because it's kind of very Indiana Jonesy and kind of Harry Potterish a little bit, without being as sophisticated with the like those movies, the special effects and everything. But once I approached it as, okay, so this is a movie made for tweens. If I'm thinking okay, you have a nephew or something and a niece, you want to take it to a movie. It's like taking them to see Shrek in a way. Okay, so yeah, sometimes you can get into those movies if you approach it from that kind of mind. And I actually like the main character, the girl that she was. I thought she was really, I like her pluckiness. I like her, kind of like her look too. Just kind of the size the way you see the whites underneath. So they kind of look like they're always like, and so she was pretty plucky. But yeah, I was going, wow, I can't believe this. Is this the guy that did my Taken movies? What? And
Is it?
That Transporter and all, yeah, he's got. I was looking at his thing. He's got the Lucy. I mean, this guy's got some serious.
Wait, the what? Your what movies? Is it
Taken.
He did take it.
I was looking at Luke
I think he
Besson.
produced Taken.
I was looking at his movies. I'm like, I've seen all these Taken, the Transporter, the Jason Tatum movies.
Really?
Lucy.
I love Lucy.
But he might have been
Fifth
producer.
Element.
He might have been producer to some of them, but I was like, so.
The Professional. Leon the Professional.
Oh, right.
So once I approached it, because there was so much coming at you, like you're seeing dinosaurs and you're seeing voodoo magic, and you're seeing and then you're seeing a lot of Egyptian stuff too. So once I kind of decided to kind of go into that kind of sort of mind, I find it more entertaining. But you have to get into that kind of mind because it's so out there. You're like, wow. Anyways, so yeah.
I thought it was like a 1955 movie.
It's
Because
like a
of how it looked.
1912.
I know.
Was the comic book is from 1912.
It's funny the way they portrayed how it looked. I thought it was a really old movie.
Oh, I agree because I literally had to me, they had the vibe of that Perils of Pauline kind of,
Right, right,
those
right, right,
serial
right.
kind of stuff, which is why you said
You
like
have
the
to, you
Indiana
have to
Jones
look at
stuff.
the time.
The
you
time period in
know.
the movie.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
That's
Is that it, George?
Mhm.
Okay. Up.
Okay.
Let's hear your praise
I,
for my
uh,
movie.
I guess the first Luc Besson movie I ever saw was The Professional. And I was blown away by it. And I kept seeing these, The Fifth Element. Every Luc Besson movie I just absolutely loved. And I really wanted to see this one. And this was the toughest one to see because it was never released in a theater in America. And
Well,
when
it
I
is
fin-
in French.
Right, it is in French.
Even the English is just dubbed.
Right,
Yeah.
but I mean, it was interesting that Luc Besson, who was like certainly a very big international director by the time he made this movie, was that they would do one that was so French, and then I saw it, and then I realized why it never got released here because it's just so awful. I saw it. This would have made twice if I had made it all the way through the second time. But when I saw that we were going to do this, I went, "Oh no, who picked that?" Because the first time I saw it, I said, "This is just, there's a kind of." I've seen this with like American actors and stuff like that, where people will say, remember those really bad movies? Let's remake a really bad movie and play it really bad, and it'll be really funny. And it isn't. It's really bad, and
That's why
what
it's
this.
called bad.
That's what this was like to me. This was like let's do something in this style, and yet the style never was dead by the time it was done in the first place. So now to see it like this, it's just like, oh God, this is so horrible. And then when I saw we were going to review it, I said, "Well, let me watch it in English. Let me see. Maybe this is. I don't like dubbing, but I thought maybe this movie will
Didn't
require."
work in English.
Didn't work in English any more than it worked in French. And I got to say, the leading actress and the leading character were the most annoying, obnoxious, stuck-up, completely inhuman characters I've ever seen. All she was a spoiled brat. I wanted to punch her in the face, which I would never do to a real live woman.
It's on film. You're okay.
Only a cartoon character.
But it was just painfully bad. And I think I made it all the way through the first time, even though I thought, what is with these guys? What is with the acting here? I mean, that was what the acting was like, was somebody saying, let's do one of those really bad movies and play it really bad. And they were really bad. They were really, really, really bad. And this
You
was...
want to go, how bad was it?
I'll tell you how
You'd
bad
all
it
do
was.
it together.
So, saying
Like
this,
a real panto.
so you're gonna be seeing this movie in Mystery Science Theater 3000?
Mystery Science Theater 3000 wouldn't do it because it's already been done as itself to be on Mystery Science. You wouldn't have to have anybody commenting on anything. Let's watch it.
Oh God, nobody take that. I hate that thing.
Yeah. So I didn't make it all the way through the second time, but I mean, I didn't make it all the way through this. I didn't make it all the way through Thelma. I certainly didn't make it all the way through, what's the other one? Oh, well, we'll get to that one next. But this, it's a stinker and a half.
Okay.
Okay. A stinker among stinkers.
Yeah.
A stinker among stinkers.
We're gonna call it.
It's the alpha stinker.
The stinker
It's the
episode.
alpha stinker of tonight's reviews.
Yay!
Well, I would say
We're
this,
number
that
one.
as far as Luc Besson, I would compare it to Valerian.
I might too. However,
I
we're
was-
skipping over Susie.
No,
it's her film.
my film.
Yeah.
I
So
get
the
it.
thing was, is that
It's okay.
Did Patty?
Yeah, she did.
I
She
wanted
hated it.
I wanted
hated
everything
it
to
too.
be really good, but unfortunately, like Valerian, it didn't come through. But this is how I saw it. I saw it the exact same way. It's still doing comic book. It still has the adventure, so I'm going with it. So I didn't find it really bad.
To compare it to Raiders of the Lost Ark is.
I think Raiders of the Lost Ark is different.
Mm.
It's a different kind
It's
of
good.
movie. It's a modern movie. How could I put that?
No, that's good. It's
It's
a modern movie.
a modern movie this felt like they stayed pretty much to the
Time period.
the time period and of what it was written in. You know, like what, like you said, Perils. Who said that? Perils of Pauline.
Right.
You know, they're
This made Perils of Gwendolyn look good.
because it's kind of over the top, but it doesn't matter. We're finished.
Well, the dialogue is clearly meant for children.
Well, I don't think it was made for children. But it's really good for children. It's like because it's very cartoonish. You
Well,
know
exactly. Yes.
Yes.
Because like when I would say it wasn't meant for children, it's like, okay, would they understand the can thing at the beginning and
but
everything
how-
about the politician and the showgirl
Yes,
going
you
on?
But how many times in cartoons, you know, since parents are watching them too, there's
Right.
things
No,
like
exactly.
that in
It's meant
cartoons.
for them,
Exactly.
yeah.
There's humor in cartoons that
Very much
parents
so.
can
Right.
also
Meant to
you
go
know,
over
Well,
the kids'
they'll
head.
get right,
Yes.
exactly. Because I think you're right. Because I think this is obviously meant to be a family film. It
Yeah.
really was.
Well, and
yeah.
when you were comparing it to Raiders of the Lost Ark too, and I think
I wasn't.
Well, it was put. Raiders of the Lost Ark was just mentioned on the
Well, she
table
said
I
it's
here.
said-
that kind of
I
thing.
was
Okay.
saying if you
Yeah.
put Raiders of the Lost
Lost
Ark
Ark.
with Terry Gilliam.
Terry Gilliam.
Yeah.
The-
Oh, okay, yeah, but I mean, Raiders of the Lost Ark to me, the reason that I liked Raiders of the Lost Ark, when I saw Raiders of the Lost Ark, I said, "This is the movie I've been waiting most of my life."
Oh, I love Raiders of the
And it was
Lost
done.
Ark.
It was done true to the style, but without making fun of the style. He took that and he took the budget that Steven Spielberg could get and brought it over the top. And it was like, and that's why, and it was like, if you look at it and say, you know, if you think about it, Raiders of the Lost Ark is far and away the best of all of those movies, and it's the only one that doesn't have the name Indiana Jones in the title.
I don't know if it's the best.
Of the Indiana Jones movies?
Oh no.
That's what I'm talking about. The
Oh.
Indiana Jones movies, it's the best.
You know, back in the day when I was a kid, I watched movies. You can watch three. You will pay like $4 and get 3 movies.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember Raiders of the Lost Ark, Purple Rain, and American Ninja. Those are the 3 movies. Yeah.
Well, I remember going to the World
That
Theater
was
in
second
here,
one,
but that
yes.
was the triple bills were out here and on 42nd Street. And when I grew up, it was always a double bill.
No, they had triple bills out here on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
saying.
also
The
on
World-
Western.
the
On
World
Western,
Theater.
yeah.
And Broadway.
Oh,
no?
and there was a place over on. I think it's called the Coast Theater now, across from the Gelsons on Santa Monica. That was that.
Was that
was
a movie theater?
That became, you know what?
right.
It was
I had no
it was
idea.
sort of a legitimate theater, but then it
Right.
became a movie theater that was so small that if you watch it, half of the movie was being projected on the wall.
But
Or downtown.
should we do the
They
numbers?
call it the old downtown now. But when I was a kid, it was new downtown. But it was one where you would run out to get popcorn and chips.
Right.
And you could still hear the movie bouncing, the audio bouncing from the walls.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess it'll be you, Patty.
Yes.
5.
I gave it a 5 as well.
Give it a 5. Too.
Yeah, but you liked it.
What are you working for? A charity company? What are you giving this crap 5?
Ones I don't like, I give 5.
I guess 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be back next week.
Wait. Oh, that's right. Next week.